All right, I think we are ready to start. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, good to see you all here. And on the behalf of the think tank Kalevi Sorsa Foundation, I wish you all warmly welcome to today's seminar, in which we take a closer look on the present state of Eastern and Eastern Central Europe. This event is made possible by our cooperation with Foundation for European Progressive Studeis, which is an umbrella organization for our think tank network in Europe. I wish to thank FEPS for the past fruitful cooperation we've had in recent years, and together in our seminars we have brought quite a number of internationally recognized scholars to Helsinki to joint seminars, usually twice a year, and one in the springtime, and then the traditional Research and Policy Day in November. And this is a good tradition, and today we have a possibility to continue it. And I hope also you follow our web pages and join our mailing list, that you see what's coming up in November. It's already under making, and the organizing for the November event. On the board you see the hashtag for this event, so you can comment us on Twitter and social media and follow us there as well. But let's go to today's topic. Year 2014 is a year of anniversaries in world politics. 100 years ago erupted a military conflict, what we nowadays call the First World War or the Great War. 75 years ago, Europe was divided by the so-called Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and then followed by the Second World War. And 25 years ago, we saw practically the end of a Cold War, the tearing down of the Berlin Wall, providing maybe emotionally the best symbol for that actually gradual process. Well, I'm not going deeper into these historical events, but two things ought to be emphasized. First, I think all these three had profound effects on especially the Eastern Central Europe. If we think about the First World War, it started in the Balkans and ended with a string of new independent states from Finland southwards to the Mediterranean. The Second World War, of course, it crushed in awfully many ways Europe that lies between Germany and Russia, while the end of the Cold War liberated the area from the authoritarian communist rule. For almost a quarter of a century, we have believed and hoped and believed that peace and cooperation, democratization and integration is the only possible way for future in Europe, in Eastern Central Europe as well. But the recent developments have reminded us that history is never a one-way street. Thus, the second aspect of these anniversaries is that historical experiences live in not just memories, but also in present politics. I guess almost every news program has proved for months now how history and its long shadows keep creeping back. For further reading, I recommend Timothy Snyder's study, Bloodlands, Europe Between Hitler and Stalin, that has just been published also in Finnish. It's not a prediction of what could happen in the area, but it tells us how borders, boundaries, and peoples have been pushed and moved around in Eastern Central Europe. We can well ask today, are we facing the return of the spheres of influence, as we have put the title for this seminar. Europe between Germany and Russia is a loose concept or definition. On one hand, it tries to mark a geographical area. On the other, and more figuratively, it refers to political power bases. In the latter sense, of course, Germany is no longer an independent player, but part of a European Union, although Germany, no doubt, carries a special weight as the EU's strongest nation. But enough of an introduction from my side. Let's give the floor to our foreign speakers and start with two presentations about 30 minutes each.